All right, we're sufficiently warmed up now. I'm Pat.
All right, I'm Jeffrey.
I did not break my arm.
No, but that was the original sound.
That's the original sound
of the injury you incurred, right?
I don't know, man. When I actually did that, I think I went in a shock. I don't think it.
Right.
I don't know if it made a sound or not.
Did you?
I don't remember. So
My
wife said when I hit the ground, I passed out. So
Right.
yeah. So and then yeah, when I came to like 5 seconds later, I stood up immediately, and my arm was like.
Did you make a sound when you saw that?
I don't remember, but I'm sure I said "oh" or something like that.
Well, this is my thing here is, all right, and this is something that every man has to face, right? It's essentially like when you're on a roller coaster, right? Sometimes you make some noise.
Oh,
right?
I screamed like a girl when I'm.
That was my question.
I love
do you I don't want to say manly scream, because in theory, like, screaming isn't manly at all, but
Oh, when I'm on a road, it's
how
like,
does it, like, are you like growling?
oh,
or
dude, yeah, I get so hoarse when I go to an amusement park.
all right,
I lose
all right.
my voice for a couple days. The same way at a good baseball game. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because I've seen some dudes where, yeah, when they're screaming, it's just kind of like, oh, and other dudes, they go high. They go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not talking
yeah.
like fucking eek a mouse shit, like, oh, who took my purse? It's
Mine leaving.
yeah, you heard it. If you're gonna cite the specific case of BJ Blazkowicz versus
Right.
Germany, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Germany of a particular stripe.
Right. I mean, we've seen the case file.
We've seen the case file.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's well documented.
Yeah, okay. No, I have kind of like a halfway in between.
I've heard you yelp. Yeah.
It's
I've heard you yelp. Yeah. Get a little bit of a, oh.
yeah, there's just some weird, like, kind of Hank Hill in that. Yeah.
There is some Hank Hill in your.
Oh, it's all good, brother. How you been this week?
Oh, not bad. Yeah, I guess yesterday I got screwed up, man. I thought we were doing it on Tuesday, but here we are.
Well, we
Wednesday,
were.
so
I thought Will asked us to go back to Wednesday, but that could have been.
I think it might have just been for the game, but I'm fine with Wednesdays if they work with him, because it takes a couple days to refill my news feed. You know? So yeah.
Well, I mean, we do have a pretty solid, like, 3 and 4.
We do, yeah, you're right, yeah. So,
it's balanced. So when we do 5 and 2s,
when we go goal line defense, man, and start, arguing about, like movies from the '80s and stuff again, it's kind of like, yeah, we're on prevent at the moment.
So how you doing? Still pissed off from last time.
Yeah, no blitzes in that
right.
game. Yeah. So, well, it'd either be none or all.
Yeah.
So,
which is fine. I mean, I suppose it's entertaining in its own right.
I suppose.
Look, there's an audience for bickering. Like,
there is an audience for bickering, but I mean, I just don't know how sustainable that is. I mean, bickering's good if you're going to go on fucking Twitter.
Here's the problem. It has to be organic.
You're right. It doesn't have to, you can't pick fights. Yeah,
right.
You can't force a fight about something. I don't know, man. There's I just think a lot of people are chilling out over some of that shit too. So, or they just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well,
that's what I'm starting to notice. So at the yacht club, there's always been a subtle ban on any form of political talk, but it would come up from time to time. But lately, it's a hard ban. So it's just like they don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, here's the problem is that a lot of the issues that we're facing are the same issues that we were facing a month ago and 2 months ago. Yeah, that's true. Which means the only thing that you can do is either you can either pick off scabs, right, and go ahead and get that bleeding again, whereupon you could have been, it's like, I thought we settled this to as close to a point as we could before.
Yeah.
Or the other thing is, there's just no new information on it. It's just...
Yeah.
No,
your point about picking scabs is well made. So,
and some people will, some people do.
Some people will, but there's very few things that get settled anymore. I mean, it takes a long time for something to actually get settled. And people just don't have the patience for that anymore. So
no, that's where the bickering comes in.
It does.
That's if you're into scab picking, if you're into the drama, then that's where that's where it becomes ghetto. That's where it's Real Housewives. It's
like Congress.
Yeah,
I did go back and watch that. That was fucking hilarious.
Fucking that is.
Yeah.
So ghetto.
It was pretty ghetto. Yeah. And it went on for like 2 more days. So it was in the news cycle all over the place. So, yeah, but anyway.
That shit's embarrassing.
It was it's pretty bad. So, it was pretty bad. If you actually go watch the whole thing, the actual hearing, it is ghetto as shit.
It's pathetic. It's terrible. I mean, it's not just... We're not just talking about the highlights of the football game. Yeah,
no, if you watch the thing,
yeah,
there's like almost constant like snide remarks in between comments.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of 3 and outs throughout that whole thing.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but every now and then they make a shoot for the goal line or whatever, and I'm like, this is pathetic. But yeah, they're like chipping off little 3.5 yard runs every now and then. A lot of fucking incompletes. Lot of incompletes, man. A lot of incomplete passes in that thing. Just shit where it's like, you're not going to get a bite out of that.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch an actual hearing in a little while, so I forgot how boring they are. So
yeah, exactly.
And like how much grandstanding actually goes on. So like I hadn't watched one since the time that they grilled Matt Taibbi real hard. So and it was like, wait a minute, you can just tell who's red team and blue team here, man. So
yeah,
you don't even have to look at the bottom of the screen. So,
no, if you're using the phrase "reclaiming my time," you're not red team.
You're not red team.
No,
yeah,
that's
yeah. Actually, that's interesting. I don't know how that procedure actually works. I don't know.
I don't know either. But well, because you're sort of invited to come to these things. I feel like these are a chance for people to sort of, I don't want to say clear their names, right? I think in a lot of cases, it's in theory supposed to be getting somebody's side of the story, but also, giving the callers of the hearing the opportunity to kind of lay out their gotcha questions or, hey, attaboy.
Well,
questions.
I think they kind of changed depending on how many people were actually interested in it.
Yeah.
So, I've actually, this has been a while, but I actually used to do, like, watch the C-SPAN things every now and then, and there would be times where it's like, okay, you're in a budget meeting. They're actually trying to figure things out. Yeah. So, or something like that. But then, it's like, oh, it's the UFO story.
Right.
And like all the members are there and they've all got their little, time slips in and stuff. And I don't really understand exactly how it works. Should ask my wife. She actually interned at the legislature for a little while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you could get more information as to how any of that shit is useful, that would be great. Yeah, because you're right. When you go to the fucking when you go to the UFO hearings or wherever, it's always the same thing where it's like, so let me understand this here. So in theory, Mr. Friedman was at this location on Tuesday at 12:59, but the government books also say he's in Tulsa at 12:59 on that very same day. How can Mr. Friedman be in 2 places at one time?
Yeah,
I can't speak to that. I can't answer that.
I'm just a janitor, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't answer that.
Yeah. No, I think that was the last one I watched where they had that whistleblower guy who turned out to be somewhat crazy. So yeah.
Well, that's
it was a little disappointing.
The Boeing guys have been dropping off.
Yeah. So I read into that one the other day, and it was like the guy left a suicide note. They found him. Fill me in if there's something about this that I don't know. But it just seemed like the guy was just depressed.
I don't know. It's look, man.
So,
And this is the weird thing is if you're scheduled to do this and you disappear or commit suicide, obviously, I'm always going to have suspicions.
was he scheduled to go before Congress?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I may be talking about us, but I believe so.
Oh, about what? He worked on the Dreamliner. He's not even a military guy.
It's not about being a military guy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
The Boeing thing?
Yeah.
Well, then this is about the airplanes. This is about the
Dreamliner.
Yeah, the deficiencies.
The 787.
Yeah, the deficiencies
Right.
in the aircraft.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get that, but man, it's not like it was 25 years ago. I mean, where you'd have a major incident in the United States every couple of years. We haven't had a death caused by aircraft malfunction in like 20 fucking years. So,
Yeah, not here.
no, not here.
But I mean, these are the same airplanes that theoretically Boeing sells around the world, and there have been incidents outside of this country.
There have, you know, and there was a close call in this country where it kicked in an autopilot when it wasn't supposed to. And that's when they grounded them all and had to, like, basically rebuild the ACARs on each one, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to defer to you on
The
that.
software, yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was. So, but I don't know, man. Yeah, so yeah, the guy winds up suiciding himself. So, or maybe not, maybe Epstein style. I don't know.
It's tough to say.
It's tough to say, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't get what the gotcha is. So it's like, oh, Boeing's been trying to like fucking kill people in there. No, no, they wouldn't want to do that.
Well, no,
So, because like, you know, even just grounding the fleet for a day would cost them billions of dollars.
right.
So, and all the airlines would scream bloody fucking murder. So.
That's not the my understanding here is what they're looking at here is obviously you're right. It's not a question of no company is so evil as to say we got to engineer deaths, but we got to make it look like an accident, right? The question is, are they cutting some very crucial corners?
It's possible.
That yeah, that's big.
Okay.
issue.
Yeah, that's possible.
And supposedly that's where people have insight to be able to say, yes, I witnessed this happens. I can tell you these experiences.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, you know, it's like wide body or narrow body aircraft manufacturer is such a high dollar business, you know, that I could absolutely see a company finding ways to cut corners. It's just really hard to do. So yeah, you know, like I used to run a warehouse full of aircraft parts. They fucking keep track of those things pretty good. So, you know, the FAA is kind of a pain in the ass about it.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, that being said, I mean, there's the story that we heard, you know, basically about, like, you can't just use regular duct tape for that.
No, you have to have special airplane duct tape.
Right. And that's a true story, guys.
That is a true story.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
You can't just use a 10-cent nut and washer from Ace Hardware for that. You have to use this $150 bolt.
I understand they're made differently.
I have no idea. So they look the same. They sure do look the same. Sometimes they're blue. So,
Yeah, you got to thread them through that paint shit.
I have no idea,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's just like I remember doing cycle counts. And just like holding a sack of washers that were like $30 a piece.
Well, that's where you're like, I'm in the wrong business because I could be at home fucking drilling a hole through metal discs,
Right, yeah.
you know, and selling them for $30 a piece.
Yeah. I mean, like, there was like some parts in that warehouse that were worth more than my house, Jeff. So,
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
wild. Yeah. Some of them were really cool. Like, one of the things that's really cool is they have the gyroscope, which is this thing that's on a gimbal system.
Sure, yeah.
It's in a metal
Yeah.
box, and, you know, if you unpack it a little bit, you can play with it a little bit. So, not one that's ready to go on the airplane. These are ones that came off. So,
Yeah.
we'd fuck with those things a little bit, but, you know, it was like a $400,000 part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And sometimes you can understand why, too. Yeah. Because you have those little ones you buy at Target and you pull the string and
Yeah, you pop the seal on it. It's yours now, buddy.
And you say like, yeah, this is fit to go in an aircraft.
Right, yeah, sure, yeah.
This will keep it level.
Yeah.
No, man, oh, Patrick, you and I have talked about the degeneracy of our YouTube feeds.
Oh,
I walked down, and speaking of like human misery and trash, I walked down a rabbit hole I could not dig myself out of.
Oh no, what was it?
Body cam videos of police officers on traffic stops.
Oh yeah.
With entitled girls.
I've seen quite a few of those.
Have you? Okay,
yeah.
So
there's a couple guys that I subscribe to do that. Yeah. So I mean, sometimes they involve shooting, so it's a little bit different.
That's a different one. No, that's its own thing. That's what I'm into, right? Where death is involved, that's a different story. We compartmentalize that a different way.
Yeah.
This shit is just seeing snotty girls at their worst moment.
I've seen some of those, and I've seen them at drive-thrus too. They're just as bad. Yeah.
I don't know this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
I don't know how my feet bled over to that one, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of a shorts hound a little bit. So that's how I find some of these fucking channels is I'll just doom scroll shorts for a little while.
Okay.
And that's how I found some of those ones. Like, particularly like state troopers seem to have like a particularly tough time with that. Just in terms of frequency. So
of drive-thrus?
No, of snotty
okay.
bratty teenage girls. So I seen a guy catch a couple politicians too, and they're just
those
bad,
are always
man.
funny.
Yeah, they're just as bad.
I cannot believe people are still pulling the "Do you know who I am?"
I can't believe that either, man.
In this day and age,
Yeah.
like unless you are fucking Barack Obama, right? At which point we're like, yeah, I know who you are. You used to run that Dairy Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Did you used to coach my kid's soccer team?
It's like I see you played Gus Fring.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You did a good job in that series.
Yeah.
So.
It is pretty funny, and they'll sit there and rattle off this list of guys they're friends with, and it's like, you're done. I'm like,
yeah.
What would you do? I mean,
I saw one that she was obviously drunk. So
they're always drunk, man.
I don't know. Some of them are just like snotty. This girl was obviously drunk. So, and the cop is being so patient, and then, she does the name drop. You know who my dad is, blah blah blah, kind of thing. He's like, I need you to step out of the car. And he just step out of the car, rolls up the window on him. He starts just tapping on the window, kind of thing. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. It's like, you better get out of your car, otherwise it's going to get a lot worse. And then it cuts to the next scene where there's like 5 cop cars there.
Yeah.
Like, man, we're going to break your window.
and there's always the thing that there's this common language that happens in these is they ask the same question over and over again, which is, what are you arresting me for? Yeah. Or they'll say, for what? The cops will tell them.
Yep.
900 times.
Yeah.
They will still be saying, for what?
Yeah.
They will be shouting in the back of the cop car, they're arresting me for nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you seen them use, there's a couple of them that I've seen out there where they use that suit. So it's like the mummy wrap. Yeah. Okay.
The wrap.
The first time I saw that, and this girl, I don't think she was drunk. She was on something. So she was just as fighty as she could be. And she was actually with a social worker, and she wouldn't get out of the social worker's car. So
I've seen that one.
Yep. Oh my God, that one. Dude, that's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, how does this end? Because she did was fight and fight and fight and fight and fight, and the cops are just like, the first cop who got there, he must have asked her about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I need you to step out of the car. You need to get out of the car. You need to get out of the car. Just come out of the car. Kind of thing.
And she would step out and go back in.
She would put a foot out or something, and he didn't grab her or nothing. So until he's like, okay, I'm going to grab you. No, if you don't get out, this is your last chance. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to grab you. And then he grabbed her.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, it was like there's times where I wouldn't grab my cat. So, like if she's like in the middle of pitching off a loaf or something, I wouldn't do that. But if I did, that would be the reaction.
Well, especially when you'd given your okay, so if you sneak up on a cat or a dog or something like that, like you do something if you do something unassuming, you've got a decent chance of like if you got to take the cat to the vet, right?
Oh yeah.
And you have the towel ready or whatever you're gonna do, and you just kind of sit by and you're like, hey buddy, all right. So
oh my god, they would be so suspicious.
well, okay, so if you have that relationship, okay, I could do that with this dog,
right?
Okay, but on the other hand, if you'd been talking to the cat with words she knows, and you just say like, "Come on, cat, we got to go to the vet. We got to go to the vet.
Yeah,
we're going to the vet.
No,
I know you don't want to go to the vet.
Oh no."
And then you say, I'm going to grab you and we're going to go to the vet.
The cat's still instantaneously under the couch.
Right.
So, yeah.
She'll lock in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas, sometimes your best chance is to give... Because anybody... Look, this is the thing is, they're constantly talking about like, oh, so you got like 200 pounds on her. I'm like, yes.
Oh, you don't read the comments, do you?
No, okay. Sometimes.
No, man.
Sometimes because...
Those are bad for you.
Yeah, I know, but... because people said, or sometimes like other people in the video will complain. It's like, oh, this cop had 200 pounds on it. It's like, look, guys, you got to understand.
It's not about a fair fight.
Well, it's not even about a fair fight. It's like, look, picking up a 50-pound bag of manure is heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. Picking up 2 of those is heavier. Picking up 2.5 of those while it's trying to get away from you.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Right?
Yeah.
That's very, very difficult, regardless of what your size is. Because even bodybuilders, they lift static weights. They don't lift weights that are like fucking wiggling around. You know why? Because that's actually going to destroy your joints.
Yeah.
Isn't matter. This is something where they say like people come in, they say like, how do I have tennis elbow? I don't play sports. So they're like, do you own a cat? It's like, yeah. Stop picking the cat up.
Oh.
Because it's a moving thing, right?
Okay.
And that's not to say that you can't ever do it, but it's like people who do it all the time.
Right.
You're a vet or something like that, that kind of thing. But the weight's not moving around, and it's not trying to get away from you.
Yeah. It's not trying to claw your eyes out.
And you're still trying. The thing that always infuriates me, and this is my own problem, right? Because I'm sitting there like a total degenerate, and I'll be like, kick her ass, like fucking. But they can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to subdue somebody without being able to just like introduce their face to a cinder block or some shit.
Is a Street Fighter chick.
I know.
About the
I know.
KO, man.
I'm always like, put her down, man. Put her down. And that's the same. It's the same fucking dumb crowd. They're like, well, why don't you just shoot him in the leg?
Yeah. So I hate to say it, but I actually was part of that crowd for a little bit. I had some people who actually know what they're talking about straighten me out on that.
Oh, what'd they say?
They said, now, if you're going to pull your gun, you better be ready to use it all the way.
Right.
So, and if a guy's coming after you with a knife, you don't shoot him in the leg, you shoot him center mass. So, because that's what's going to stop the knife from getting closer to you.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I give up. So... Well, that being said, I love those videos. Any of those videos that end in a tasing makes it to my read list. So I can't believe how much I love seeing people get tased. It'll like make my day. Because everybody reacts differently, man. So some people scream, some people just and crumple over.
Right? Yeah, they make
other
that
people
sound.
like try and reach for it.
Yeah.
Like,
and sometimes you hear that.
Some people shit themselves, which is hilarious. I shit my pants, man. Well, I warned you. How are you gonna have to take them drawers off before you get my cop car? Yeah.
See, all right, man. Like if you can confess to,
I love it. I mean, when I see people get hit with like bear spray or pepper spray, I kind of have a cringe moment because I've been in a car where someone fucking did that.
I was in a bathroom where it happened.
See, and I just sit once.
I wasn't in a fucking car, man.
I was in a car. Yeah. So, and it is the worst thing ever. So I empathize with people. Like, I've seen people, like, there's these, like, bouncer videos out there too that you see.
Yeah.
And so I saw one this other day where these, there's like 3 guys outside of a club and they throw this monster of a dude out. Okay. And this dude is obviously fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And he's jacked. And he comes right, and they toss him. They've got him hogtied, kind of.
Yeah.
So, and they literally toss him right on his face. And that dude just pops right back up like a spring and turns on this dude. And this dude just hits him right across the face with, the full-on can. You know?
Yeah.
And that dude just...
The one with the fucking trigger.
The one with the trigger.
Yeah.
And you could just see it burn through his skull, kind of thing. And I mean, even that one, and he stopped him in his tracks, and he started running the other way. But, I saw that one, I was just like, oh, that's going to hurt. But when I see someone get tased, it's always like...
Well, this is the thing. It's like
why I like it so much, but I really do.
Look, you do have you have a little bit of like a ghetto side. It's not as gross as me, where it's like where I'm like, why do these Indian people stand so close to the train tracks?
Oh yeah,
there's that part where I gotta watch this. But no, the thing is, and I understand the empathy with the pepper spraying, because here's the thing. Anybody that's ever eaten something that is too hot for you, right? The thing is, it doesn't burn you for a second and it's gone. It just lingers there.
It's gonna be there for a while.
For like 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
take that.
Yeah.
Put it in your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
And 1,000,000 times hotter.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on which one. So, like, I don't know about pepper spray. I do know about mace. That's what somebody did in a car.
Yeah.
And it is the most ghastly, acidic. I mean, you can tell it's poison.
It's weird what it does to your lungs, man. It's
like,
you just...
Yeah.
I felt it in my throat, man. Yeah, that was, I was in a bathroom once where it was sprayed.
That was mace, not pepper spray?
It was mace.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. That happened once, but yeah, to be stuck in a car where that happened, I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Who fucking maced you?
My brother.
On purpose?
No, he didn't mace me directly. He was like, "What's this?"
All right. Why bother asking what's this if you're just gonna pull?
That's what he did. Yeah, it wasn't the bear can. It was one of those little like lipstick ones.
Right.
So, yeah. So in fact, I think it belonged to my mom. So
really?
Yeah, it was that long ago. So, and then I think the only other thing, like, I've smelled tear gas once. So
I have not. How was that?
Well, I wasn't that close to it, but it's pretty pungent. It's like this really super duper ammonia smell. So it smells like disinfectant. It's weird. So yeah.
All right. I know we both knew. Like, this is a guy that they're working with, where they told you, like, the prison guards, they say anything that you use, you have to have used.
Oh yeah, no, all cops do the same thing.
And,
if you're gonna be a cop, they get to tase you one weekend. Yeah.
Right. Not just short of like, well, I have to shoot you.
No, they're not gonna shoot.
Right.
You. Yeah.
No, but I remember that they were talking about, like, how you had to go in this room where they were going to tear gas you, or...
Yeah, that's the Army.
The Army, okay.
That's the Army.
Yeah,
just about everybody in the military gets to do that once, so...
Oh, that was an Army thing. Okay, because, I was thinking about Greg.
Well, he was a Marine.
That's but I didn't remember if he did that for prison or...
He told me that when he became a prison guard, so they would use your mace against you, and they get right in your face and just draw X's on your eyes until the thing ran out. Yeah. And then, so you had to be able to actually, like, still function. So, and if you, backed away or turned around or, just screamed over, oh my eyes, you had to do it again. So, until you just kind of like, all right, if this guy's Mason, you still got to tackle him. So yeah. But I think that was with the prison. But no, everybody in the military goes in the gas chamber. So
okay, yeah.
So at least that I know of. So
yeah, because I thought I remembered hearing about that from him, but I didn't know if that was a cop thing or a military thing.
No, I know cops definitely get maced. So
and tased. If you carry one.
I think that's probably all of them carry tasers now. So
that's true.
Yeah, I haven't seen one without a taser in a long time.
Because they got the dual holsters now.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe not Roscoe and Enos out east, but who knows? So they just shoot you.
I did see one that did make you laugh, where I think it was like a county sheriff was arguing with another cop.
I seen one like that in Florida, where the county sheriff was speeding through a cop's place and the cop pulled him over. So
there may have been a different one, but okay. I'm gonna look for that. But yeah, that was funny when they started getting fucking into it. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I might have seen, I've seen a couple different ones, so I'd be curious which one you saw.
I didn't know you'd be into this shit.
Oh, man, I've been watching traffic stop bullshit for ages, man. So, so, I don't know, I've always been interested in that. Like, and then there's guys who do, like, well, there's the fucking TikTok lawyers out there, who are like,
yeah.
So this is how you fuck with cops, kind of thing when they pull you over. So, they kind of pisses me off when people do that, but still, same point in time, you're entitled to your rights. So,
well, you are.
Look, I don't think you're entitled to be a dick about it. So,
no, there's not that. I mean, so there is some value. I mean, the one that went around years ago that was, to me, exceptionally valuable was the guy who was a police officer, and his video was about this is why you never talk to the police.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah.
Famous. I guarantee you, it's got like 50 million views.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
And that I figured was especially valuable, right? And I think that's anything that actually goes to the purpose of due process and everything that makes sure that nobody's asking you misleading questions or things like that. I mean, there's a reason that we have these things in place.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Like, okay, this is great. And yeah, you have those you call them TikTok lawyers. I think that's absolutely fine. That are basically doing like post-game analysis,
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Some of those guys are better than others, but some of them are just sleazebags. So,
these are the same guys who their claim to fame is basically having an area of expertise. Doctors will do this too, where they'll say like, well, I'm an ER doctor. And so
right.
I'm going to watch this episode of this, and we're going to talk about how accurate it is. And we're going to...
Oh, I've seen some of those, man. Some of the... Yeah, I've seen videos on that shit. So I hate to say it, but a couple of ones that I've seen are bullshit. So,
wow.
Yeah, I hope they're not all like that, but...
Well, no, this is not actually something I enjoy. This is something that... it is the very definition of as a
right teacher here, local crossing guard here.
No, I don't want to be that guy. It's because then they're gonna have this story about this weird like Asian guy who fucking like he yells at me all the time. I think he threw a can at me.
Right.
What was my crime?
Yeah.
Well, I thrusted my stop sign up into the air with a bit of authority that he didn't seem to think I deserved.
Yeah. No, I can't stand some of that stuff, man.
Well, because there's
it's like if you're an expert in something, go do that. Get the fuck off TikTok. So,
well,
I don't know, man. So,
well, okay, obviously, so I don't know if you can necessarily call it, stolen valor, but there's this, man.
Stolen TikTok valor?
Here's the thing. You know where I'm going with this.
Right, I got you.
Is when you get people in there and they try to prescribe these. No, I would say ascribe. They try to ascribe these superhuman heroics to their job, where it's like, I'm an RN, and let me explain to you why every teacher, policeman, and fireman is not worth one of us. You know,
okay, I know what you're talking about.
That's the shit that kind of gets under my nerves.
Yeah, that gets under my nerves quite a bit. So
under my skin, I should say. Yeah, on my nerves.
On my nerves.
And there are people that do that with. It's not just that profession. I don't want to just point out nurses. It's just those are the ones that seem to be the loudest about it. Especially, you know, like during the COVID thing. Where they were doing all those dumbass dancing videos and all this other shit. I'm like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. I guess I saw a few of those. I don't know. There's like a couple doctors that I follow.
Are they good?
One of them is because he's funny.
Okay.
That's his whole thing. He pokes fun at the medical system.
Okay.
So he's great. So, you know.
Either be funny or informative.
Yeah,
or both.
But see, the problem is with informative guys, I mean, I'm starting to notice this, you know, when you start looking at people, like multiple people in the same field, and they start saying different shit. Yeah. It's kind of like, great. All right. Why don't you guys go back to being funny? That was cool. So, you know, you can be funny and a little bit informative. Like, I don't know how many, and I don't know how much of this you've seen, but I don't know how many people out there have tried to give me exercise tips.
You?
That complete, well, yeah, and I'm not even into that stuff, man. But it's all over my fucking feed from time to time. So it just kind of comes and goes in waves, you know? And it's like, well, that's not what the other guy said. What about this guy? Oh, you got to say, you're saying a third thing. Got it. Okay. So, oh, wait a minute. I gotta eat this way too. Okay, you know. So, it's just like, actually, I'm just gonna go ask my doctor now.
Well, okay.
You know?
All right. So,
yeah.
Okay, so I'll say this: like on my feed, I have quite a few different people, like specifically about like lifting weights, and things like this. And you're right; they all have different things and different approaches that they say, right? But that's kind of like the cool thing, because what they say, what the good ones will do is they're not jumping in there and saying, like, this is the only thing that you can do to do this.
Oh, see, I've seen people do that.
I wouldn't waste my time with that, right? These are all people that they're like, look, this is here's how I discovered this. This is what I found for this. There's one guy on there that's awesome. He spent the money on the fucking electrodes you hook yourself to. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's supposed to stimulate your abs or whatever?
No. This is the one that basically measures muscle activation.
Oh, okay.
And basically did, like, every variation of the exercise and graphed these out.
Oh, he built a spreadsheet, huh?
Well, he did that too, but basically he's like, look, every one of these stickers that I put on is like $75, right? Oh. And I've gone through like 100 of these, right? So here's how this looks. It's like, all right, so if you're looking to work this, like, you get a 55% increase in activation if you just turn your arms this much.
Okay.
Right? So, and he's not in there saying, like, you have to do it this way. It's just, here's what the data says.
Okay.
Right? Now, I do this way, I do this way, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. And like I said, I've seen a lot of different people on there doing different things. And that's cool because you can see that from different perspectives. But there are some people that are fucking bossy. There are some people that...
Way bossy. They remind me of that girl boss from years ago. What was her name?
Oh.
She did all the infomercials to get in your fucking face about being fat and stuff. So...
Are you talking about the one that was on The Biggest Loser?
I think so, yeah.
Jillian Michaels?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was her shtick.
I know. I just hate that shtick. So, you know.
I don't mind it on that show.
I didn't watch the show that much. So,
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's... All right.
She was just everywhere for like 2 years. So, advertising all kinds of shit on TV and stuff. Yeah, okay, that's the one. Yeah. So, hopefully she took her money and decided to go fuck off. So... I haven't seen her around.
I don't know. I think she made a shit ton of money.
Good.
I think that being on that show like you said, I think it helped her sell like every, product and service out there. So, and you know what? If it helped some people, cool.
Yeah, cool.
If it didn't, well, then fuck that. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it helped somebody.
Sure,
so, yeah.
Sure.
It's just the attitude didn't sit well with me. I'm not a fan. So
the way I see it, man, there's human beings are complex. There's there's no single motivator that's going to work for all people, let alone like two people in the same room. Right.
No.
And some people are going to respond to, they're going to hear that. They're going to be like, geez, stop it.
Stop it. Stop yelling.
Yeah.
That's me. Very much so me. Why yelling? Why are we yelling? Do we need to yell?
Whereas, I get a whiff of that. I'm like, okay. Right?
No, I don't tolerate yelling very much. So
I try not to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be fine for me. Because
I've had too many stupid bosses over the years who lose their temper and yell at people. And it's like, actually, you're just an asshole. So, and on top of that, you're dumb.
Look.
And so you make up for that by yelling at people. Got it.
This is the thing about yelling. I'm going to make this patently clear. This is the same reason that when William was directing me to watch the Has Been Hotel, which again, I will say this: I thought the animation was fantastic, but I could only make it through half of an episode. Was much like yelling, profanity needs to be used sparingly. Right. Why? Because there's no impact to it if you use it all the time.
Right.
So if your trainer is yelling at you nonstop, all you think is, well, this person only has one speed.
Right.
I can't tell the difference. It's just they're having their regular conversation at 10, right? Whereas when the quiet person yells at you and they do it sparingly, you stop what you're doing and say, oh.
Yeah, oh, you're serious. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And that's sort of it. So, for certain people that enjoy that sort of militaristic dictation, for me that works.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why. It's dumb. But
hey, if it works, it works. So,
but it just, I guess it clicks onto that part of my brain where
it is if someone does that to me, that is the day I sign up for the Rebel Alliance. So,
got it.
I put my hand on the Bible and swear that oath at that point in time.
Absolutely. And look. Okay, so
it's like, oh, you're the problem.
Okay, so to you this way: the reason it works is when I have a complete trust in that person that they are a subject matter expert, right? That I'm going to listen to anything that they have to say. So in that case, I'm just waiting for your next order. And the louder you say it, the more motivated I get. Okay? And, within reason. Don't scream it from a bullhorn. But, that kind of thing can keep me in step. Right? But again, that same thing, like you said, it's like you turn it around. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We had the same house, essentially, with like very small deviations. We went to the same schools. Right? For you, it's going to make you fight back. For me, I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No.
Whereas somebody trying to gently negotiate me through something I don't want to do, somebody saying like, yeah, you know what, keep lifting that heavy thing. Go ahead, keep doing, right? Yeah. When I'm in the middle of being like, right, yeah. I don't need Pete Carroll just being like, that was a good play. That was a good play. Oh, well done.
He's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but yeah, he does do that.
He was a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
See, he could get me to do things.
See, yeah, when I turn to Coach, I have expectations of Coach.
Yeah.
And when I screw something up, I expect him to say so. When I do something well, I expect him to say so. And I understand. Yeah, but I can't. I couldn't have somebody sit me down. It's like, okay, now I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, so, all right. So it's third down. Okay,
Right.
and this is cool. And listen,
This is cool, boys.
I'm not
gonna believe in you regardless of how this turns out.
I'm not picking on you personally, but so for everybody around here, I want you to know when it's third down, right, and the clock is against us like it is right now. Okay, when you catch the ball, I need you out of bounds.
Right.
Out of bounds. It stops the clock.
Yeah, see,
it stops the clock.
Thank you. See, yes, I could do that. So it's like, so you're not yelling at me. You're telling me why you need this, and you're telling me how it needs to be done. Gotcha. Got okay. So I'm ready, Coach. So let's go.
Whereas I'm
I'm like, you get out of bounds.
move it, you fat moron! You do let it get it, I'll hit you. Yeah, that's
like, oh yeah, take a swing at me now. Do it.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, no, Coach hit me. I had it coming. Oh, sorry, dog. I didn't mean to scare you.
Yeah, now it'd be like, Coach hit me. Now this team is mine. You know.
Well, and this is the thing. I try to be careful. Like,
oh yeah, see,
even my dog doesn't like that.
No, she doesn't like that.
No,
yeah,
no.
So
if she hears me like getting into an argument, she bails out. She's just like, this is not the man I know. He'll be at my mom's. Oh, that's cool. Like I said, this is, and you know what? That is something that actually comes up in those police videos. Because yeah, there are some people that, you know, I'm watching these again, of course, critiquing, but not. It's like I'm watching a TV show. I'm like, oh, don't talk to that person this way. When you see those dudes goes, you can't talk to me. Show me the proper respect. Like,
don't do that, man. Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, there are a few where you see the cop go kind of haywire. Yeah. So it's just it's not as common. So
yeah,
you know, because especially like the stateies, they deal with this all day, every fucking day.
Yeah.
You know, they're not your street cops, you know, where it's like, oh, great, we're on ticket duty today, you know. Yeah. So it's like, if you're a statey, that's what you do. So
tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets and car accidents. So
yeah, that's pretty, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of, I mean, unless they said this is happening on the highway.
Oh, I'm sure they do other things, man, but I don't know. So I haven't known too many state troopers, only one or two over the years. So
I don't know if I've known any.
I've known a couple.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because these are guys who basically work outside the county, right? Well, not necessarily.
They'll patrol any highway in their jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So they have like certain ones. Like you'll see stadies out here on Powers sometimes. So you know, because it's technically a Colorado highway.
Yeah, it is, but I wouldn't. I would classify parts of it as a highway, or they feel like a highway.
Yeah, other parts of it are definitely like parking lot.
Yeah, it's got the posted hours where it says highway between these hours, parking lot between. Yeah, watch for children.
Watch for children.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't
watch
kidding.
for standing vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's you know the trouble spots.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. Yeah, but that is kind of a filthy, dirty part of YouTube. So
it should. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're getting out of it. And I know that I was watching it for, I hope this person gets theirs.
Yeah, that's usually what you're there for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Every now and then you'll like the girl that they wrapped up. I was there. I was like, I want to see what happens. So you know,
there's a little bit of like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because okay, in that one in particular, you know, because once you get to the end, they'll say this person was charged with this and this and this.
Yeah.
But with that person, I'm like, this person is clearly fucked up.
This person needs serious help, and the fact that the social worker is just like, I can't do this anymore. Is like, oh. I mean, I've known some people who are social workers. They're pretty, you know, if they last more than 6 months, they're pretty fucking resilient.
Right,
people.
they get the 1,000-yard stare and
exactly, because they see some really fucked up things. So you know,
Yeah, so there is that one where you're kind of every now and then you're sort of rooting for the person that's in trouble. There was this one girl that was just like so polite. I think she was I know there were drugs involved.
Oh.
And she had gotten in an accident. And drove off, but she was just like the nicest, sweetest person on the planet.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, man, I hope this kid turns her life around.
Yeah, I hope it works
he's
out.
so friendly, right? And she's just like, they're just like, so how would you feel about? Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit clumsy though. I'm sorry, and she's just like so nice. I'm like,
yeah,
you're awesome, right?
You're still going to prison.
Yes, go to prison. Learn your lesson from this.
Oh god, have you seen that one with that drunk chick who doesn't even know she just killed like 2 people?
Yes,
that
the
one that's so bad.
That she's like, but I have school tomorrow. Yeah, you've seen that one too. Okay, yeah. It
was like, that's not going to be your problem anymore. What do you mean? I have a test. So, I know, but yeah, I haven't seen the one with the really nice girl. Maybe I'll have to go find it.
Yeah, that one. She's just so nice, and she's just like whatever you need. It's just what I was like. I can't believe this. I can't.
Yeah.
I think that kid had gotten like fired that day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think I have seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not. So no, I seen the other one that I was talking about, and there's another one where this black guy kills a guy and he didn't know it either. But then he's like, my life's over, man. So, and it's just like, oh, I feel bad for him. So
wait, how did he do it? Was it a traffic thing?
Yeah. So he's DUI. So yeah. Yeah, and he was like a week away from graduating or something. It's like, you're pretty young too, man. You need to go to prison for a while.
Okay, because I've heard stories of the guys that like they're the athletes or whatever, and they get in a fist fight, kill that person, right? Accidentally.
Oh no, I haven't seen one of those.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've heard some things like that.
And I guess like if you're honest with if you don't run from the police, right? They'll take that into consideration, right? They'll be like,
I don't know, man, because it's not really up to the cops. So that goes back to the DA. So, in a situation like that.
Yeah, but if you ran from the police,
that makes it much worse. Yeah. Yeah, if you leave
it makes you question your motives pretty hard.
Well, it's against the law. You're not allowed to leave the scene of an accident.
That too? Okay, well, no, I'm not talking about an accident. I'm talking about like a fist fight.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about is...
Yeah. And I used to kind of discount that until one of the guys at the yacht club actually got in a fist fight and it turned him into, basically, it melted his brain for a couple of years. Yeah, he hit me. The guy cold clocked him and he went down. He hit his head on the curb. So absolutely hemorrhaged his brain out. So, and he, spent a year learning how to talk again. So, and it's like, yeah, I'm not getting any fist fights. It ain't worth it.
Well, okay, now
I don't want to be that guy, or I don't want to be the guy on the other end, because they did charge that guy with there's a
intent to kill or something.
No,
like
there's an assault charge that's actually pretty nasty. So yeah,
okay,
it might be battery. I don't know. So, but there's one that's pretty nasty, and yeah, you're going to jail. So, you're not just getting a ticket and some probation for that.
Right.
You get in a drunken bar fight, you might get a ticket for fighting. So you hit a guy and he goes down and eats the curb and spends 6 months eating applesauce. You're going to jail.
Assisted applesauce.
Assisted applesauce. Yes.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because
I haven't seen that dude in a while. I wonder if he's okay.
Oh yeah. Oh well. This is the weird. This is a weird thing about the human body. Is look, there are some guys that take that same situation, replace a fist with a 2x4,
and they're fine,
and they'll walk.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there are people that when you watch that actual, not wrestling, but the other wrestling. I don't want to say the backyard wrestling, but basically like the underground stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some.
They're not fucking around.
No,
right?
No.
There is a little bit of the theatrics, but I mean, they're going through the tacks. They're getting hit with the boards.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
All this stuff is happening, right? And they're okay
for now.
Right. But that's what you're saying is like one stray hit and you fall down, you hit your...
Yeah.
It all depends on where you hit your head too, right?
Uh-huh.
Is if the back of your head hits the curb, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you can go blind that second.
Yeah, you can.
That's your occipital lobe.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Where you're just, that's one of the weird mysteries of life that gets me, Pat. Is if you look at the human body and the sheer amount of complex things going on at any time, like any other machine would be breaking down constantly.
Oh yeah.
Like, you want to talk about those $30 washers, right? I mean, you like the abuse we can give these things is like, all right, so let me get this straight. I'm like, so we have all this complex machinery here. It's like, yeah, it's like, and you can't go in there and change the washers or anything like that. It's like, nope. So it sounds like you got to baby this thing pretty tightly. It's like, well, no, I was smoking like a pack and a half a day, and I can't even tell you what all those Burger Kings did for me, but you know, it's unreal.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you can do the exact opposite. Never smoke, run 2 miles every single day, so fucking eat nothing but broccoli, so, and fucking have a heart attack at 85 or at 25. So I mean, we've seen that happen too. So
yeah, and usually that's because there's some kind of like defect in
well, there's a genetic,
yeah,
or something like that, or some people are just susceptible to certain things. They don't know.
They have a heart murmur.
You have a heart murmur, which goes undetected for years.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, or the same thing. I mean, like cancer's a die roll. So I mean, yes, smoking probably does not help. So
well, no, but ultimately, Patrick, what is cancer?
It's genetic mutation. So yeah,
a genetic mutation on a cellular level. What is it? Right. What is it really trying to do? What is you're talking about? The problem is that's an error in replication.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a defrag error.
It is.
Yeah.
Because the body's not trying to literally kill itself.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's just you get a little bit tripped up on something sometimes.
It gets very confused.
It gets confused.
Yes.
And then it starts making extra things that don't belong there. So
yeah.
So that'll be interesting, though. I am curious. I did actually run into an article the other day that was talking about the AI on scans again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Okay. So how basically, and so you're asking like, how do you make money off AI? And I think that's a good answer right there. It's any situation that requires processing a shitload of information in very short amount of time.
I think that's yes.
Yeah, that's where you're going to make money off that. So. Like, I don't know. I've been watching. There's like a couple AI doomerists out there. I am a little bit scared that Ukraine is turning into an AI war petri dish.
So,
we'll see what happens there, but because like literally you can make hundreds of drones and it's not really that hard to get AI to recognize a human being. Now, like you can do the Gears of War thing and or no, that was Metal Gear Solid, wasn't it?
Where
you put the box over yourself?
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of thing. But and my understanding is that like I was going down the weapon rabbit hole the other day.
Did you come across anything cool?
There's always things fucking cool.
That made you stop and say, like, boy, I wish somebody was awake. I'd talk to them about this right now.
So Russian turtle tanks. So have you seen these?
Not at all. What is this?
These are fucking hilarious. So the Russians are putting like these fucking cages around their tanks and then bolting on like fucking shed siding on them and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, to make these ridiculously huge looking tanks. All right, but the whole idea is, drone comes and they've been dropping small munitions on tanks trying to get in the hatch or something like that. You don't even have to do that. You just fly it into the exhaust, so and explode it. So there's a lot of different ways to kill a tank with a drone. So, but so you build this cage around the fucking. They've used slat cages for years to break up like RPGs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they don't really work on drones because drones, like, basically it's kamikaze. You can fly it where you want it to go.
Yeah.
So you don't just protect the big parts of the tank because they'll find another way to get into it or at least fuck with you in some ways. And so they built these turtle tanks, and drones are like dropping munitions on them, trying to kamikaze them, and they just bounce right off these things. But then they turn around and they say, okay, well, you know what? So when you put a whole bunch of fucking flat-facing armor on a fucking tank, it really shows up well on radar.
Right.
And so now we're just going to hit you with an artillery shell. So because we can see you.
I was going to say, yeah, it seems like it seems like everything has its drawback.
It sure does.
That puts you right back into conventional territory.
You're right back in conventional territory, but you're just seeing all this weird shit coming out of that war because neither side has that many guys. And so they're protective about their guys. Okay, so they're doing a lot of drone shit. All right, and some of the drone shit is scary, okay, because they'll like, okay, we're going to throw a couple drones out there, and we have a few operators, and they're going to cruise around. They'll ignore these couple guys over here because there's a couple guys in the foxhole, and they'll go try and take out a tank or find a mortar position or an artillery piece or something of value. If they can't find anything, when they're coming back, it's only got so much battery life. And so they'll just kamikaze a dude who's carrying water up to the fucking, front line. It's like, God, that is terrifying, man.
Buddy, I get, it is terrifying. And to that end, yes, it's the same kind of thing that deters you from entering this country illegally. But no, that's fine.
Right, yeah. Hopefully, like, ours would be like a Roomba. They actually come back.
That's why they drop the payload. It's okay. Well,
that's really hard to do. That's another thing is like, so they had the ones in the beginning where they had these little like 3D printed like, clips on them that would drop grenades and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you close attach on the tank. Fuck it. Okay, so we beat you and stuff like that. And so, and they said, well, we'll drop a mine in front of you. It was like, okay, we can see you do that. So we'll just turn around and stuff.
Right.
And so the whole thing is now they just use them since you got some that can fly like 80 miles an hour and stuff. They just kamikaze people with them. And so, even just individual dudes. So
it's super effective.
I guess, man. So, but, it's also at the same point in time, they don't do that because, they're better against bigger targets. But, if the battery is blinking red, you got to use it now because they're not designed to come back. So,
right.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you just find a target of opportunity because, what would you do? You just sit there like being the guy. It's constantly, especially for stuff that you don't want to do maintenance on. It's like, this is...
Dude, you just order a new one from Amazon.
Yeah.
So, they do some modifications to it and off it goes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And you know what? You're right.
I understand they're pretty easy to jam, though. So, electronically, it's pretty easy to jam the signals, but if the operator's close, it's much harder. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. Look, I don't know. Here's the thing. What do they run off of? RF?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
no idea.
That's something that I don't know. I don't know if it's... think about this for a second. So let's pretend that you're in a Starlink area or whatever, right? And just basically, like... Think about it like this, but your house, but bigger, okay? Everything's just on the Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, I bet you a lot of them are on Wi-Fi, too. So, I don't know how hard it is to jam Wi-Fi.
Well, this is the thing I don't know.
I don't know
because it's a radio frequency. That's still a radio frequency too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It is.
Yeah. It's not magic.
This is
digital magic.
I know there's this thing where I could say like, okay, well, there's line of sight stuff and there's infrared and there's things like that, but like IR has a very short distance.
It does. Yeah. I have no idea. So. But yeah, that was one of many cool weapon things out there. So, but it's not all coming from Ukraine either. But that was the one that I saw. So
no, that's a new one by me.
Yeah. The Navy built a Hunt for Red October submarine. So
really,
with the Caterpillar drive.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. They built one. Yeah. It took them 40 years to take Tom Clancy's idea, but they finally got it to work. So
that's kind of awesome. Actually.
It is kind of awesome.
Actually, no, it's kind of that sort of sucks for. Actually, I'll put it this way: Caterpillar submarine trumps hypersonic missile.
Hypersonic missiles are not as scary as people make them out to be. So I have found that out. So
why is that bad?
Because basically it's a fucking cruise missile, and we've had those for decades.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But also, what's the drawback on these things?
I don't know.
Well, okay, so yes, hypersonic missiles are cool, right? But again, this comes down to a physics problem, right? So moving anything at a faster speed is going to do what?
Reduce your reaction time.
Well, not just reaction time, but think about from the missile standpoint is to move something faster that has weight, you must consume more fuel, right?
Oh, unless you're the Russians. The Russians invented a nuclear-powered one, you remember? So,
Did they?
yeah, it exploded in Russia. So, oops.
Well, there you go.
And killed all the scientists working on it. It did.
Okay.
But they do theoretically have a nuclear-powered hypersonic missile. So... But yes, normally, yes, you have to consume a lot more fuel, and that reduces your payload. So
Correct.
yes, so, and then everybody was like, oh, look at America, you've got no hypersonic missiles. We built them in like less than 3 months. So
Right.
they're fitting them out in the Navy as we speak. So it's not exactly new technology. It just sounds cool.
No, it's not. Well, because, I mean... Where were the hypersonics before? On planes?
Yeah, they're either that or like any ballistic missile is technically a
Right.
hypersonic missile. So yeah, because hypersonic just means it goes faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is like we've had that technology on planes and rockets and stuff like
Well,
that.
since the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not that scary.
Yeah, because all you're asking is basically you're just iPhoning the thing. It's like, oh, well, that technology exists, put it in this new phone. Right?
You kind of are, yeah. You put it in a fancy new case and give it a new battery, and so there you go. So
you go to Lockheed or whatever. It's like, can we do this? Like,
yeah, we're free next Thursday.
You want us to stop making these ones? It's like,
Yes.
they're slow. It's like, unless you want the fast ones.
The past ones.
Okay, so here's the chart. So you said slow plus payload plus this. So if you go a little bit further down the chart, fast plus payload plus this, okay, this is the pricing sheet.
Yes, equals money. Yeah.
You chose this one because it's cheaper.
Right.
We can stop this.
Well, the military never chooses the cheaper one, man. So,
Well,
they never choose the cheaper one. No.
that's not true. Sometimes they choose the cheaper one after the expensive one is a complete flop.
That is true. That does happen. Yeah.
The what was it called? The XMR assault rifle is the proof of that.
Yeah, I thought they were actually moving to that, though.
No way, because it turned out the one thing that it did well was a war crime.
What was that?
Okay, so the whole thing about that stupid...
This was back during, like, Iraq War stuff, right?
A little bit more recent than that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this thing, in concept, had some really super cool things going on for it, right? Now, it was bigger, right? Mm-hmm. And it did have the explosive bullet rounds.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a different one. Yeah,
yeah.
You're right, they did murder that one.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about.
You've seen this thing?
Yeah, they got a new one called the MX something, so...
What's this one do?
It's basically just the next M4, so,
Okay.
Which is supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be lighter. It's actually upgunned, so I think it's 6.5 millimeter rather than 5.56. So,
Okay, but that's not a standard round, is it?
NATO belongs to us, so we tell them what to
use. Okay.
When you're Walmart, you decide what toys get manufactured. Mattel doesn't tell you.
This is that famous case with the pickle guys, right?
It is. Yeah. So,
You don't buy me out, I buy you out.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's actually going forward yet or not, but who knows.
Well, it seems to me like, and you tell me if this is true, it seems like whether or not that they're sticking with, a certain gun or whatever, it sounds like they're always, like, taking pitches for something new.
Oh, yeah.
Just so that it's not...
Oh, yeah, the Navy does that all the time. The Army's a little bit slower on some of that stuff, but the Navy and the Air Force... The Air Force just put up their new pictures of their, what is it, the B-21... The new flying wing.
The nuclear one?
The nuclear one. Yeah, they're painting them silver. They look gorgeous. So it looks like a UFO from the side.
Why silver?
I don't know. So, well, either that or it's just aluminum. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but they're not painting them black like the last ones. So, at least not in the pictures they released the other day. So, it looks cool.
You know what? Okay, so I guess that's the other thing is I could be concerned about the visibility of it, but then again, the whole point is that they fly so high that you're never going to see it.
They'll never even get close enough to you. They fly out of Ohio, Jeff.
Well, I mean, just talking about like just me. Like, tell me, Patrick, where do you think? Who do you think the next target is? Who's the next to catch a bomb from the United States? Who do you think's got it coming?
Anybody? Right now? No, probably nobody for a while.
What about those fucking dope addicts that are just like shooting off toy rockets?
You know what? We told them to basically fuck off, and Europe wasn't willing to put too many ships in the Red Sea, so we just like, okay, whatever. So we
okay.
I think the Eisenhower is still in the area, and then there's like 1 or 2 destroyers, but they've hit like 10 more ships and sank like 2 of them. And nobody's doing anything about it because they were like, well, we can bomb Yemen, but it's basically rocks anyway. So,
we've got rocks at home to bomb.
We got rocks at home to bomb, yeah. And so I don't think... There was like this whole operation that was going on for a little while, and the only people that were really concerned about it was the Indian Navy. And now they're all over the place down there, bombing the fuck out of those guys. So...
Okay, so, all right.
Because that makes sense. I mean, India, if it does any trade with Europe, you'd rather go through, the fucking Red Sea, the Suez Canal. So, yeah. But like most of your major, shippers that ship from Europe to Asia, they said, well, fuck it, go around Africa because there's no fucking pirates down there. So, and I know like Egypt, I didn't know this, but like, it's like, I can't remember if it's like $1 or $1.5 million is the toll to go through that motherfucker. And that goes right to the Egyptian government because they own it. So they are losing billions of dollars. So because of them fucking dope addicts in Yemen. So,
all right. So let's say that we did them a solid, and we're like, all right, well, we'll stealth bomb these guys.
We already did it once. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if I'm one of those fucking dope addicts, I can't look up in the sky and be like, what's that?
What's that? Yeah, the thing that looks like a bat wing.
Right.
No,
right.
You're not going to see it.
So whether it's black or silver, it's up so high you'll never notice it, correct?
Yeah. Well, it's not going to fly right over you anyway. So it launched that missile from like Guam.
All right. But yeah, it's not a visibility issue.
No.
Whether it's fucking silver or...
No.
Okay.
No, my understanding is they're only building them because they need to retire the B-2s because they're getting close to being 35, 40 years old.
Right.
So, and I mean, we still have B-52s in the fleet, and those are like 80 years old. So
isn't that wild?
It is crazy, man, but we got a bunch of them. In fact, we just gave a whole shitload of them to Australians. So we're like, yeah, so you guys want to get in a war with China with us someday, huh? So use these.
Now, obviously, look, this is a pawn storm. They're not new.
Jeff, the only thing that's original on those things is a fucking tail number.
Well, no, that's part of that. That's part of the negotiation process. You got to say, like, when they ask you like how much for the plane, you're like, so how much you want for this? And they say like,
make me an offer.
Well, they're like, how about 15 million?
Okay.
Right, and as Australia, you have to answer immediately. 15 million. That's new.
That's new, right? This
is used. And you have to be like, I'm not buying one. So I mean, if I'm going to be buying a bunch of these here, you've got to knock down the price.
Got to knock down the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man. That's new.
That's new.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how this bullshit goes on a big stage. I don't know how.
I have no idea.
I don't know if this is the same way that fucking, auto manufacturers work, where they're cutting deals. I have no idea.
That's interesting. I did see that Joe Biden the other day. What did he say? He said he was going to do a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs.
Yeah,
and Donald Trump said the next day it's going to be 200%. was like, well, it just got twice as high.
Dude, all right. So it's just another one of the things that was racist when the last guy did it. Yeah, same shit.
Oh yeah.
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 To turn around and then say like, well, you know, the reason that we have all these border incursions is the Republicans aren't letting us fix it. It's like, dude, which one of your moron staffers told you to roll with that?
Dude, yeah, some of the staff writing that's coming out, like, you know, he did that thing the other day at that. I don't think it was the one at Morehouse. It was another where he was speaking to a Jewish delegation. So, and he was talking about how he was happy to be joined by this one guy today, and that guy, he got the name fucked up, turned out to actually be one of the guys who's an American prisoner from, you know, in Gaza. What? Yeah, I know, man. So, and he realized it about halfway through the sentence, and he tried, oh, well, that guy's, we're going to go get him. You know, and I was like, oh, come on, man. So, you know, and I can't believe he's going to debate Donald Trump. He has to, though, man. Yeah. So if he has any hope of winning, so I don't know, Jeff. I still smell Democratic shenanigans in the works here. So in the convention. So I'm starting to see some dudes, you know, who, you know, like probably got chewed out by the New York Times editor last week, but whatever.
That's their problem.
That's their problem. But these are the dudes who, you know, are starting to talk about, well, we need to start coming up with another plan. You know, and it's like, you wouldn't say that in public if you weren't, you know, like actually halfway through the plan already, would you? So
I was gonna say, did somebody flash the Beto O'Rourke symbol?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is that?
What is that? What is that corny ass light in the sky?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, it's that guy that ruins everything. Okay, yeah.
Whatever happened to him, man? I don't think anybody cares.
Well, he seemed like a superstar to people from, you know, Austin.
Well, dude, no, he was a media darling until he actually got to the primary, and like even Democratic voters gave him a flat zero.
Well, okay,
that was back in 2016.
The best thing, okay, well, because Beto O'Rourke is well documented homo, right?
Is he gay?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was Pete Buttigieg. Are they both gay?
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
Yeah, you're thinking of the wrong guy.
But no. That was that. I
don't think Beto's gay.
I think Beto was the one that his deal was that he was big friends with a dude who went down for pedo shit.
Beto was?
I believe so. I think he was close buddies with one of these guys. The thing about Beto is just basically like,
I don't remember anything about him. He ran against Ted Cruz last time, didn't he? He ran for president in 2016, but I think he ran for Ted Cruz's seat last time in 2020.
Well, he definitely didn't win that.
No, he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't remember any scandals associated with that, but I wasn't really paying attention.
So I believe that was again. I'll look into this as long as I remember, but or we won't care. But the I thought that was part of his deal, but Beto is the problem with him is like. He's like when people are afraid to admit that their favorite movie is something stupid. So
yeah, right.
So what they tell you is like, well, what's your favorite movie? Oh, Casablanca. That's well, you say that you haven't even seen it. So when it comes down to it, like, yeah, you like Critters, right? Just fucking say you like Critters.
Say you like Critters.
Yeah. I can name you a bunch of politicians that are Critters. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, he's that person that you say you like, but you don't.
Yeah, I don't remember even running into anybody who even. Well, I mean, he didn't stake out. Well, he was a UBI guy. I remember that. So him and who's the other guy? The famous UBI guy
from California.
Was he from California? The tech CEO. Andrew Wang. There we go. So.
Oh yeah.
Andrew Yang. Yeah, he seems to have backed off on that a little bit. So the last
Well, it
time I
doesn't
talked,
really jive with his crowd.
all the tech people,
Yeah.
they don't like UBI.
Well, again, it's something that you say that you like.
Oh, but you don't actually like it.
Well, okay, so
Well, let me put it out there. I agree that the idea is completely batshit crazy. So, and I think anybody who lived through 2019, 2020, and 2021 and is mad about gas prices right now should also be on that bandwagon with me. So, I think that the experiment has been run. The results are in. So, if you're still clinging to that out there, you and your Marxist buddies, so who want to fish in the morning and do poetry in the afternoon, or whatever it was, drink coffee.
Right. So, well, you have to remember that the UBI people, right? You have to remember they consider themselves part of the creative class.
Oh, okay.
Right? And their whole argument is that art, however you decide to produce this,
Oh, I see where you're. Oh, okay. I know
right,
where you're going with this.
should not be determined by sales or consumption, but for the sake of art alone.
Right. Yeah.
I
So
can make an argument for that. It's not a good one.
right. Well, basically, the argument is I want to be an artist and get paid for it because I'd rather do that than an actual job. So,
Well, the answer is, so would I.
so would many people.
But there's also the argument that says, well, you are free to do that,
Yes.
right? And if for example, okay, this is I struggle with this, Patrick, because this is the piracy angle, right? Is all right. So if I'm going to make the argument in the same way that art should be made for art's sake, right? And whether or not someone purchases it is irrelevant, right? It's just that's a question of popular art or not, right? In theory, someone pirating your work, right, should never stop you from actually producing it because you want to, right?
Yeah.
Right? But there is, the same side of it of like, well, why does he pay for it and why does that person not? Right?
Yeah.
And
If it's all about the art, you don't give two fucks about that.
correct.
You don't care if 1,000,000 people or 2 people see what you do.
Correct.
So, yeah. So, like, get tight with your argument on that end, and then maybe we'll talk again. So, but most people, it's like, no, I want to be the next Steven Spielberg. It's like, well, that guy's commercially successful for reasons.
Right.
Do better than he did, and you too will be commercially successful. So,
Well, or you can't. Or there's the component. It's like, yes, but he's Steven Spielberg.
right.
He already is that guy. I don't need another one.
Yeah. I already have a bag of $30
Well,
watches.
I'm saying, yeah. It's like, when he's gone, okay, maybe I'll need a replacement.
Maybe.
That's the thing. And that is also to say, you are taking into consideration that his is a singular vision from start to finish as well, right? There's
That's
maybe
not even remotely true. But yeah.
no, that dude knows when to compromise and who to listen to. He's done it his entire career.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now, given the fact that you can't take the criticism of be at work on time without bitching and moaning, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
What are you gonna do when I look at your dog shit art and say,
I've seen turds come out of my cat. For hearing that, yeah. So,
what are you gonna do when I, as a critic, say like, okay, well, this you talking about the events of the day in a fucking cardboard robot hat, okay, that's not. If I say it's not art, what are you gonna do about it?
come at me, bro. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Are you gonna say, you know what, you got a point, I need to change this to make this viable? Or do you think that the audience and therefore their money should be inherent to your product?
Well, that's the problem. Is you feel entitled to you feel entitled to my attention based upon your interest, and so that just It's like, no, I'm going to pay attention to what I want to pay attention to.
Oh, Pat, the quote of the century came out about that.
What happened?
Oh, journalism.
Journalisterism?
I can't remember the exact quote, but with the... Okay, so the gaming journalism...
Oh, God, that's still a thing?
Well, okay, so the end times are a-coming, okay? Spurred on by the fact that basically, like... You got the sandwich board on right now.
Yeah, we're fucking 3 bowls into a 7-bowl apocalypse here. I know, man.
Yeah, we've already killed the souls of all the fish.
Yeah.
Which is a weird interpretation of that line. But anyway, the IGN just basically scooped up like 6 entities.
Like
right?
who?
They were
IGN is the worst, too.
That's what I'm saying.
They're the worst.
They're the absolute worst. They scooped up everything that was tied in with Eurogamer. And
that site can go fuck right off. Yeah. So
this is the thing is a lot of these places are being scrapped for parts. Right.
Good.
I'm not.
Someone should get some fucking value out of it. Yeah.
Look, dude. Obviously, I'm not.
I know.
Endorsing this, okay? But one of the Peckerwoods that got laid off. This was somebody. So there was a dude that got laid off, and another one of the fucking bitchy ass bitch girl, journalists was saying that the people who are really responsible are the people who have let. This is unreal. She's like, who have let YouTubers take over their news instead of people with actual journalism degrees.
Fuck off.
Blaming the people.
Yeah.
Blaming your audience is always, the first step, right?
It outs you immediately for where your actual loyalties are. So
it's not just loyalties. I know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
you consider your audience fucking
subhuman.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you don't have to listen to your audience, but don't expect them to stick around if you don't respect your audience. So,
Well, here's the thing is, who is your audience and what do they want?
Right. Yeah.
Right? And it's not saying that necessarily you have to look, there are people who can know that and basically know how to write to rile them up, and it's good.
Right.
Right? Where you can actually give a little abuse to these guys, and it's fun.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Some audiences are very much so like that.
Because that's your audience.
Yeah,
right?
Go to any comedy club. There you go.
Bingo.
So, yeah.
Bingo.
So,
but to sit there and say, like, well, what they don't want to hear, well, we can go through a list of nobody wants to fight. Nobody's interested except for hate clicks to read about why you are the problem, why you are the racist, why you are the transphobe.
No, we're tired of that.
Like, without us, there's no market.
Yeah.
And you're ascribing things to the entire group, right? That you would never do to any... You wouldn't even say that about, like, just a small subject of the group. You wouldn't sit there and say, like, well, this is an Italian problem. Whoa, buddy!
Yeah.
Where you just subsection a group like that, let alone the classically, like, most homophobic and most transphobic groups, they ain't white people.
Well, I'm not even going to draw lines around that, man.
But that's what I'm saying, is you would never or use a whole group and say, all of you are the problem.
No.
You wouldn't dare. So, yeah, that was the statement of the...
They can just roll over and die for all I care, man. I mean, I have gotten so tired. Like, the sites are unusable anymore because they are absolutely clogged with ads and cookie notifications and stuff. And if you're trying to read an article on something, I can get much better information in about 2 minutes on YouTube. About a game. I can see it. I can hear somebody who's playing it. And there's some guys out there, they do a good job summarizing shit in like 30 seconds. It's like, thank you, rather than sitting here and reading about, like, you have a degree in medieval literature, and so you're going to tell me all about manor lords, and it's like, no, I'm not going to read this,
I would read that if it was funny.
I would read it if it was funny or informative. It is going to be neither of those things, and I can tell that by your tagline. So, So,
look,
I can't. I don't have patience for those sites anymore, man. None of them. Like I still get ambushed by some. So here and there, I mean, I avoid the Forbes guy like the fucking plague. He's the worst. So, and there's a Sports Illustrated guy out there now, too. I'm like, you guys are writing on games? The ship's going down. So, okay. So, I was like, you need to reserve, seats on a lifeboat now. So, I'm going to get my coat. So, but then, the other ones, I've gotten ambushed by, Games Radar and fucking PC Gamer is terrible. Kotaku is laughably bad. We use it as a running joke. Rock, Paper, Shotgun, Giant Freaking Robot, all of these can go.
Rock, Paper, Shotgun was just acquired by IGN.
Good. Die. Yeah. Go away. So...
Look, man. I'm going to tell you, there's a place where games journalism could thrive. I really do believe
it is. It's thriving on YouTube right now, as we speak. So
why is it thriving on YouTube and not through these fucking mouthpieces?
Because the people on YouTube actually listen to their audiences and they make videos that are key. I'm still stuck on Manor Lords. I am. I love the game.
Go ahead.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's this guy that I found. He is fantastic. He'll explain things to you in a minute. And it's like, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. You explained this to me. This new patch update is great. I'm going to try it out.
Oh, you're talking about the game?
Yes. Okay. See,
whoa!
There we go. Yeah. So the same thing. Even when they're not talking about the game specifically, they're talking about devs. There are a bunch of good guys out there who, talk about Skylines and they're trying to keep up on it because, Paradox has been backpedaling all of this shit. That's actually good, decent journalism because they talk to the devs. So, and it's like, oh, so you actually have direct access. So unlike, every other developer who, it's PC Gamer Call, and they're like, send them a voicemail. So
no, it's just like you have to pick up, but then you must set the receiver down.
Right.
You have to let them know that you answered.
Right, yeah, and I don't want to listen to your voicemail.
Right.
So I'm not going to give you the opportunity.
Right. Pick up the receiver, put it down. Yes. Yeah. And then if they call again, pick it off the receiver and just leave it.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Just walk away. Yeah, no, man, that can go away. So there's nothing in there that's of value anymore. And I mean, on top of it, so many games are being released now, at such a healthy clip, that there's no way you can actually use, a singular source in order to actually keep up, with everything that's going on and have time to listen to your opining about medieval literature. So, it's just no, man, that's not where the field is going. So,
Broham, I remember back in the day, right? I remember if you were going to take that phone book of advertisements called PC Gamer, right? Look, I argue, I don't have the evidence, but I argue they were on the take back in the day.
Of course they were.
I argued that there were, developers out there who were absolutely paying these guys under the table. But you know what? Frankly, it felt honest in its dishonesty because as of right now, these bitches are doing it just for access.
Yeah, they do it for access.
That's the only thing that they have at this point. There's no payola here.
No, there's no payola.
It's just you're going to be cut off by the developer if you rate their shit, poorly. Which is why everything is 8 out of 10. Everything is 7.5 out of 10.
It is so milquetoast now. So everything, yeah, exactly. It's all this is the greatest game of the year. It's 8.5 out of 10.
Right.
It's so you're hedging on both ends. This is useless.
Right. So you're pussy.
If the game sucks, tell me it sucks. So wait a minute, you're not going to do that. So I'm not going to read you anymore. Bye. So
that was Patrick. That was part of the joy. Was back in the day, reading a 3.0 rating article was hilarious.
Yeah, once they scorched something, it was great. So you'll never see that anymore unless it's a hate post.
Which is
we're
fine.
okay, unless we're scorching it because it's a property associated with J.K. Rowling.
That Patrick,
come
yes.
on,
Now, okay. See, now you're getting me. You're feeling me, right? I get it. Now, if the game is just bad,
if the game's bad, tell me it's bad. So, but like they don't do that anymore unless there's like another angle behind it. Because you're gonna lose access, you're gonna lose your Steam keys, whatever.
You're gonna lose credibility with the crowd that you think is cool.
Yeah.
No, again, and this is funny because I can remember back in the day. Do you remember like when PC Gamer they would track a game like 3 years before it was gonna come out, and they start giving you these early things and start hyping this up.
There's still people doing that. So there's still people doing that all over the place, man. So.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. There's still some of that, but back in the day, it was this thing where you knew people were like, "Oh, I'm waiting for this to come out."
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm waiting for this to come out. And the funniest thing that always would happen to me is people would say that, and they'd be like, "I'm waiting for this to come out," and then hearing, "Well, it's been out for 6 months." What do you mean? It's like, yeah, it's been out for 6 months. It's like a 5 out of 10 game.
Oh, I don't remember too many of that.
Oh, that shit would happen all the time. Well, because like
if I was waiting for a game, I knew when it came out.
It takes something like Trespasser, right?
Mm-hmm. I followed that game for like 2 years before it finally dropped.
Right.
I got it the weekend it came out.
Right.
Yeah.
But there were plenty of people with something like that. They were like, "Wait, that's out?" It's like, why didn't I hear about it when it came out? Well, because it arrived with lukewarm to mediocre reviews.
Well, you wouldn't hear about it unless you knew about it from your friends, or you were subscribed to something like PC Gamer,
right?
Or you're going to Best Buy every weekend,
right? Right.
Because remember that Best Buy would have the posting there of new releases, so
they would, and so would all the electronic boutiques and GameStops and
Babbage's.
That's the one I was thinking. Babbage's, yes, and Egghead Software, and
I remember Egghead. I bought Doom there. That's where I bought my copy of Doom.
Did you?
Yep.
I thought you did.
3.5. Yep, we got it. We got it at Egghead Software for it's on 2 3.5-inch floppies.
Wow. Congratulations.
There we go.
That's cool.
I don't know why I remember that.
Because it's cool. Because it's a little. Look, under the same token, I can sit there and say, like, okay, I bought Garfield 16 at B. Dalton's bookseller.
Oh, wow.
Down over there. It was... My brother got 15, which was the one where Garfield has, like, the earth on his stomach.
Around the globe or something like that.
Yeah. So I bought 16. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, you're talking about the actual comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember trading 16 for 17 with a friend of mine at school.
I'm pretty sure I still have a stack of those somewhere. So
there's nothing wrong with them.
No. I used to have this one. It was a comic book. It was the 9 Lives of Garfield.
Yeah.
That one was great. Yeah. So it was very well drawn. So, there was only one part of it. There was 2 chapters in the 9 chapters in that book that were like, Jim Davis classic, Bug Eyes, kind of stuff. But then there was a whole bunch of shit in there that was like line drawn, fucking humanoid characters and all kinds of. It was pretty neat. I wonder if that's still in my collection. It might be.
That does seem like the kind of thing that you would keep. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but you're just kind of, when you're digging through your stuff and you're looking through like, you're looking at like the dumb sociology books. You're like, I don't need a parrot in the oven. I don't need, this kind of stuff. You're getting rid of these things. But then you come across 9 Lives of Garfield, and that's like, this goes straight to keep.
Right to keep, yeah. I don't know. It's a look. So,
I mean, I'm not going to argue with this because, I did keep pretty much all of my college books. I should just donate them, get rid of them. Because I don't need the lonely crossing of Juan Cabrera.
No. I got a bunch of my college books too. They're gonna need to go. So like, especially for like, I got a bunch of business books that are so old, so that they
rot.
Yeah, no,
like
they go bad. Yeah. So eventually, it's just blank pages. It's like it's got no flavor. Lived in my freezer too long. So Yeah, I should just get rid of a shitload of those. So I got a recycle bin. So there we go. So I bet you I can throw books in the recycle bin. So.
It feels weird to do that, but at the same time, I've trashed all my VHSs and DVDs. I don't.
Have you?
I don't keep physical media around. These books, they're all available online if they're worth a shit. Yep. That's how I read everything.
Yeah, I have a tough time reading online, but like my reading is basically limited to stuff that I can listen to now. So
yeah, I know you're into that.
I'm into that. So
I don't love audiobooks. I much prefer to read.
I can't do that and drive. So that's when I do my reading.
Okay.
Is when I'm commuting now. So and it's glorious. So I've read more books in the last 5 years than I've read in a long time. So nothing of any consequence or value. So
ouch.
Well, no, I like it that way.
All right.
I don't like reading for work.
All right, no, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, man, any final thoughts?
No, not really. So I don't think we got anything going on this week. No, I guess Trump trial is probably going to get cleaned up in the next day or two.
Yep.
We might be able to talk about that on Sunday. We'll see. Yeah, otherwise, I don't think I have anything on my radar. So the Rockies were doing better. Now they suck again. So
I think you guys made that prediction. I asked
I'm
you if
pretty
they
sure
turned
Will
a corner
did.
and you
Yeah,
said no.
no, they probably won't. So I do have tickies though. So
Oh, how soon?
yeah, not till June. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I did get some tickies. Looks like I'll be going to 2 games this year. I think.
That's what you said. Yeah.
I think two would be about right. We'll see. I might pick out a third, but I have no idea. So.
I do know that they just announced today that they're making a George Floyd movie.
Oh, that's going to be terrible. They made a Donald Trump movie. Did you see that? So.
No.
Go check it out. It's thoroughly awful.
No, I was not aware of this.
Yeah, so apparently it debuted at the Cannes Film Festival the other day, and it's Hollywood's latest swipe at the Orange Menace himself. So
is it going to turn out to be as accurate as Super Size Me?
I have no idea, Jeff. All I know is that any that man is rubber and everything else is glue. So it will not work.
No, as a matter of fact, the Biden did a pitch, I think, yesterday.
For what?
Because some ad that featured Donald Trump included the word Reich.
Oh yeah, that didn't work out either. So
because it was total bullshit.
It was bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
So that
man, if you're reaching that far for shit now,
you're done. You're cooked.
That's what I'm telling you, man. Watch out for shenanigans. It's coming. So,
but that's the problem. If shenanigans are going to come, my Hillary Clinton detector would be going off like crazy.
I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think it'd be her. So,
I don't think you could stop her if she saw a crack in the wall. You can guarantee you she'd trying to stuff her fat ass through it.
I think she's done. I think. Yeah, we still don't know. I mean, we know enough, but not all the lurid details yet about Rapee Island and her husband. So that you can't do that, man. So I think that's probably been explained to them a little bit.
I'm sorry. It's just I had visions of seeing Rapee Island on the map, and it's like I'm gonna go there for June 24th through 26th.
She blows. It's Rapee Island.
I know it sounds cheap, but I'm gonna be staying at the Econo Suites.
And, yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna use my city card points.
They're just kind of like. So is Rapee Island everything that you think it's meant to be? It's like, no, it's just named after John Rape. It's like...
It's actually just spelled R-A-P. But,
he pronounces it Rapee.
Rapee, yeah.
People always forget the little tilde or whatever.
Yeah.
The accent mark.
Right, yeah. I thought that meant at Rapee Island. No.
Right. Nah, that's a different place. That's where rape really happens.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if Pops is aware of what's going on anyway. So
don't know. I feel like there would be some way that she would try to get her.
It's possible, man, but who knows what's going to happen. So if the polls keep going in the same direction they're going right now, they're going to start getting desperate. So
I think they are. Well, the accusations of Nazism are.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's kind of par for the course for him, but. I mean, people throw quarters like that his way all the time. So, but, I mean, there's like, when you see the Tom Friedmans and the Fried Zacharias of the world starting to panic a little bit, it's kind of like, interesting. So, let's give it a couple of weeks and see where we're at. So,
all right.
I'm looking forward to the day after whatever day it is in June where they have their little showdown. So
right,
I think I might actually watch this one.
I'll watch. I'll be able to tell you within about 6 minutes whether or not I'm going to keep watching this, because what I believe is going to happen is, if my understanding is correct, is that the moderators have control over the microphones.
Yeah, both. It's a three-way kind of thing, man. So the Trump campaign, the Biden campaign, and I guess the first one is with CNN. They need to sit down and negotiate all that shit.
Because what I think is going to happen is they're going to sit there with their finger on the mute button, and this is going to turn out... okay. I don't have a nice way to say this. I think it's going to be...
If you mute him and he's still talking, people are going to know that. So...
I think that they're well aware that people are going to know that.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a good idea. So... we'll see who the moderator is going to be. If it's Jake Tapper, that'll be hilarious.
Wait, you might as well just turn it. It'll waste your time with that.
Oh no, I'll watch it.
Wait, you like Jake Tapper?
No, I don't like Jake Tapper. It's one of those. I wouldn't say that I dislike him that much, but
no, he's a no. I don't. He's not a nobody. He's just a dude that he's an octopus, right? They can change their skin color. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He just blended into the sea floor for a long enough time.
That's okay. Yeah, I didn't step on him. So.
No, I didn't step on him either. And yes, I understand he's been on the fucking bottom, eating mollusks and shit. It's just
his natural enemy.
I don't have a whole lot of patience for dudes who have been how did you survive in here? Being so fucking milquetoast. Right.
So milquetoast is better than some of the other people they could put up there. So
I'm not talking about douchebag reporters who was that one fucking dweeb that was saying yeah, they fired RPGs at my helicopter. It's no, they didn't. They fired it 45 minutes ago at a different helicopter. You weren't on that.
Well,
remember that dude?
There's been a couple dudes who did it over the years. Yeah. That's what. Brian Williams got in trouble for that. Well, he was an NBC anchor guy. He wasn't a reporter. So...
he did that, yeah.
I thought that was Anderson Cooper, actually. So...
Actually, didn't he do some, bitch-made shit like that, too?
Yeah.
It did.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you got a 40-year career, you're going to find stuff like that. But... Yeah, they've got some other people who are just, they're a little bit too... I mean, they're a little bit far out there as far as their inclinations go. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a neutral moderator. You never know. I mean, if Joe Biden's the one who really wants the debate, then Donald Trump's his campaign's going to be able to get a little bit more of what they want out of it. So because when you ask someone to the prom, they tell you when to pick them up.
Okay, all right, that's true. When you decide to go ahead and put your fucking big boy pants on and say, name the time, name the place, right? You don't then get to argue about the time and the place.
No, you don't.
You don't say
that's my point. Yeah.
8 o'clock doesn't work for me.
No. Yeah, no. It's Like,
all right.
Well, I'll be there at 8 with the fucking cameras. Where will you be? So,
All right. Okay. Cool. So we'll go ahead and close that out. All right.
All right. I'm Pat.
All right. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm hitting the
Yeah.